Well, questions have arisen over the circumstances under which the National Environment Management Authority approved the construction of a liquefied petroleum gas storage and filling facility at the Liwatoni in Mombasa. The approval was granted despite concerns raised by the Kenya Ports Authority, which owns the land, and with the Energy Regulatory Commission having yet to give its blessing. Mansa East Africa Limited are determined to see their 7.5 billion shilling investment through, as Olive Barrows reports.
The construction of a 1,000 metric ton liquefied petroleum gas storage and filling facility at Liwatoni in Mombasa has a number of persons and entities up in arms. The Kenya Ports Authority, the Kenya Ferry Services and the Mombasa Yacht Club are concerned that the attendant risks of the proposed site far outweigh the benefits. KPA and the Yacht Club, in correspondence to the National Environment Management Authority and the Energy Regulatory Commission, are advocating for a change of site. In a 2018 letter to NEMA, Harbour Master William Ruto wrote, "The proposed special economic zone in Dongo Kundu is a more ideal consideration for such a project." The Kenya Ports Authority listing some safety concerns with the proposed Liwatoni site. The proposed site for the plant and jetty being very close to the navigational channel, and this being the only access channel to the port, does not match the international maritime safety standards. The Mombasa Yacht Club was more graphic in its letter of protest to the ERC. It states there is no doubt that should there be an accident, the damage to life, limb and property would be extensive. In 1984, a leak from a pipe created a cloud that wiped out most of a town and more than 600 people in Mexico. That sort of explosion here, so close to the densely populated island, would be worse than dropping a bomb. The Kenya Ferry Services had its reservations as well. In a letter sent to NEMA last May, KFS states the offloading plant and storage is in a most dangerous place, that is at the mouth of Kilindini Port, further stating that it is also most hazardous to shipping route and ferry operations, considering the highly flammable nature of LPG. KPA and the Mombasa Yacht Club having expressed fear not just for their businesses, but for the safety of the communities living around the proposed Liwatoni site.
Leo hii mtambo ujewekwe hapa miaka kuhesabu, alafu yale mawili yao machafu yanabwa kwa bahari. Samaki sisi tutapata wapi?
Mtambo wa gasi ujengwe, kwa sababu mitambo ikiwa miwili huku wa Mombasa Cement na wa gasi tutapata ajira.
Tuamkaribisha huyo mwenye gesi aje na yeye atuelezee ni vipi madhara yake na ipi faida yake, tujue pengine tutapata makazi pia hapo.
On the 14th of February, the National Environment Management Authority seemingly ignored the concerns raised by not only the residents but also KPA. In the approval letter, NEMA states it had reviewed the report from Mansa East Africa Limited and consequently issued a license for the implementation of the project. NEMA outlines some conditions to the firm, among them seeking approval from KPA, Kenya Ferry Services and the Energy Regulatory Commission. The ERC, in a letter dated 2nd of April, wrote to the Director of Mansa East Africa Limited to reiterate that no approvals had been made yet. The letter states, Mansa East Africa Limited is yet to obtain a construction permit for the proposed project, and proceeding with a groundbreaking ceremony would be a breach. ERC, quoting Section 90 subsection 1 of the Energy Act 2006. The firm appears to have ignored ERC, KPA and KFS as it welcomed local religious leaders at a ceremony last week at the site.
The reason we mount the facility is in order to ensure that there is minimal risk of any kind of accident by mounting it to protect against any explosion.
It remains to be seen if a compromise between the potential economic benefits and safety concerns can be struck. Olive Barrows, NTV.